Welcome back to the SRX preview show. My name is Jonathan Field. That is Casey Campbell. And we are getting ready for Slinger. But first, we have to take a look at what happened at Lucas Oil Raceway. Great to see that track back on a national stage for the first time in, I think, about 10 years or so, ever since Xfinity and trucks used to go there. Casey, you were very in tune with the race. Tell us a little bit about what was going on.
Yeah, I was into it. It's SRX. I've watched every race to this point. So yeah, it was a really good race. I gotta say, it was not that interesting. There weren't a lot of incidents towards the end. There were, but overall, it was a really good race. And I think that it was a coming out party for Ernie Francis Jr. Not a lot of people knew who he was. I did because I got to see him race in Trans Am when they were at Detroit a few years ago. So that's where I first met him. Really talented driver, and basically a multi-time champion in that series, road racing series. So it's also the same series that Willie T. Ribbs came from. So it was good. It was good to see him win, and someone that has gone through the Rev Racing program and has aspirations for NASCAR. I really would like to see him get some opportunities down the road, and he really impressed me that night. Bobby Labonte had a good run. Scott Speed and Helio Castroneves got into it a little bit. And I know it's a race that Tony Stewart would like to forget because he did not have a good night. I'll say that. But Ernie Francis Jr. did have a good night, and he's got a lot of confidence heading into this week at Slinger.
Big time. Ernie Francis Jr. faced many challenges from Bobby Labonte, from Scott Speed, and others. Great racing on Saturday night. Great to see Ernie Francis Jr. after being so close so many times to finally break through and get the win, SRX. Well, now looking ahead to this weekend, of course, the Slinger Nationals took place Tuesday night, and our winner, Luke Fennhouse, 17 years old, will be racing in SRX. He gets the opportunity. What can you say about the young kid? I guess kind of young kid, if you will. Big opportunity on national stage. What's it all about?
The youngest winner of the Slinger Nationals in the 42 years that it's been running. But I've gotten to meet Luke Fennhouse this year he's he's a recipient of the Alan Kawicki Scholarship. I got a chance to talk to a lot of those drivers, and he's also a Wisconsin native too. And talking with some people out there, I mean, this kid's the real deal. He's been racing short tracks, been grinding it out, trying to get a lot of opportunities, and getting this one with Slinger, and now going into the SRX series. And if you haven't got a chance to meet him, he's a really good kid. Really impressed with him and all the stuff that he does on the track and as well as off the track. This is a big opportunity for this kid to really show what he can do behind the wheel. And usually once that happens, we saw Doug Coby get an opportunity with GMS. We're going to see Ernie Francis Jr. get some opportunities. I think we're going to, if Luke has a good run this weekend, I think you might see him get some opportunities in either the truck series or in ARCA, because he's not that old enough. So definitely he's gonna be fun to watch. He'll be in the 4 car this week, which is the red, white, and blue, typically what the local driver runs every week. So yeah, Luke's gonna be fun to watch. It's I'm not, and it'd be fun. I'm pulling for him. So it's definitely going to be fun. We've got a lot of young kids in this race. Got Haley Deegan's back, filling in for Tony Kanaan. Ernie Francis Jr., as I said, just 23. Haley Deegan 19. Luke is not even 18 years old yet. He's just a kid. Mm-hmm. It's definitely fun to see him, and big congrats to Luke. It's he's having a ball this week.
And big congratulations for sure. SRX has been a great way for drivers to line up a ride. Of course, Doug Coby worked with Mike Beam working with GMS Racing, working down the line. Great opportunity. And as you took the stat or the note right off my posted note there, Haley Deegan will be in for Tony Kanaan and others. joining them. All right, so looking ahead more to SRX this weekend, you also forgot Greg Biffle will be back in the number 69 car. Good to see him back. Of course, the Biff. What can we expect out of Greg Biffle this weekend in Slinger?
If we expected the performance that he had at Stafford, we're gonna see stuff. Usually, the ringer tends to run well once they get in that car. It's Scott Speed had some good runs. We saw Scott Bloomquist had a good run when he was in Knoxville. Scott Speed, as I said, went at Eldora as well as at Lucas Oil or IRP, whatever you want to call it. We saw Greg Biffle have a good run at Stafford. I think it'll continue at Slinger. This is a tight little bull ring, and that's why it's 150 laps. Laps click off here so fast. So it's gonna be a fun opportunity to watch Greg Biffle get up there and run, because Biffle's a good driver, and I still think he can get the job done. And who knows, we might see him in the Truck Series at some point. I don't know. He finds a way to get in there.
Yeah, for sure. Greg Biffle, of course, won in his first start for KBM back in 2019 at Texas in June of 2019. I want to mention also the race format, 12-minute heat, a 12-minute heat happening again, and then the 150-lap feature for SRX. All right, Casey, it's time to pick. Yep. Who do you have for the feature? I guess you could pick for the heats too, but more so for the feature. Who do you have?
Okay, so yeah, it's definitely Tony Stewart's been dominating the heats. Elio Castroneva's got the Scott Speed, and Elio got the 2 wins in the heats last week at Lucas Oil. I'm not going to predict the heats because anything can happen in them, but I will pick the big winner of the feature. It's going to be Bobby Labonte. I think this is the race that he's going to win. I think he's been really impressive. Of course, it hasn't been that long since he's been in the seat. Of course, he's had a lot of seat time racing in late models and modified. So, yeah, I think Bobby's starting to turn his luck around. It's definitely going to be fun to see. So I think that 18 car is going to get it done.
For sure. Bobby Labonte, of course, his last NASCAR win, 2007. April 2007 at Talladega, but he has been racing NASCAR Whelen Euro. I did a couple Xfinity starts as well, so he's not wet behind he's wet behind the ears, if you will.
Yeah, of course, that was an Xfinity. I should say that was a NASCAR Busch Series win. I should say last Cup win came at Homestead in 2003. Remember, awkwardly enough, it was when Bill Elliott ran out of gas, and then Bobby passed him for the win that year.
That is correct. Yes.
That's winning the Winston Cup.
Yeah, that does not feel like it was that long ago at all. All right, well, my pick, I think personally, I believe in good stories. That's why I'm a journalist. I think we're going to see Luke Fennhouse get the win. I think he's going to break through.
That's that. Oh my goodness! If he was able to win that, the state of Wisconsin would go absolutely bananas over that. It's there's been a lot of great racers to come from the state of Wisconsin, and of course, with him being a part of the Alan Kawicki Scholarship Program, and driver development program, I should say, it would be a big deal. And of course, he's following in the great steps of many Wisconsin drivers. Look at Alan Kawicki. You got Matt Kenseth, Dick Trickle, Derek Kraus, Sam Mayer. So many drivers to come from Wisconsin and perform. It's a hotbed for talent. And of course, Paul Menard too. Don't forget him.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And we will see which talent emerges strong at Slinger. Of course, you can catch the race at CBS or Paramount Plus, and that'll be 7 p.m. Central this Saturday, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS or Paramount Plus. For Casey Campbell and me, Jonathan Field, we will talk more about Slinger coming up and preview Nashville. Till then, so long.